You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby.
We were talking about Elton John peeing in a water bottle at a shoe store the other day in France. And we got this call today from our good friend, Brother Jay.
I tried the Elton John thing.
The peeing in the bottle?
I come walking into the gas station with an empty bottle. I go, hey, you guys want to see an imitation of Elton John?
Jesus.
No, you didn't. Did you actually?
I fucking did. And I guess they listened to the radio station because they both went, no!
Please tell me you kept it in your pants at least.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't whip it out. I was just holding the empty bottle. I was like, you guys want to see an imitation of Elton John?
Oh, God.
And they both of them right away, no!
I respect that you looked for consent first.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
When you get a pound of wings, how many wings do you assume are going to be in said pound?
I don't know what, the average weight of a wing is supposed to be. I think somewhere along the way I've been conditioned to expect it's 12 or 13 wings.
Okay, thank you.
Is that kind of the standard?
I was pissed last night, dude.
Oh, no, what happened?
I went somewhere here. I ain't gonna out them.
No?
Brother, I got 7 wings.
7 wings?
I got 7, and they weren't even jumbo ones or anything.
I was going to say, if you're going to call it a pound of wings and only bring out 7 bones.
I get it. Inflation has hit and all this stuff. Everything is more expensive. My jaw almost hit the floor. I got 7 wings in a smidgen of fries.
Damn.
For $14.
Okay, first of all, that's crazy. That inflation is out of control. But inflation affects the cost of things. A pound is a pound, brother.
I don't know. I was so mad last night. I was I ate my 7 wings, and I'm not even full.
I would, you know what? I'm a petty guy. You know this about me.
Yeah.
I would have asked them to bring out a scale. I would have said, you get over here and you weigh these 7 wings. And if it's even remotely close to a pound, then I'll quietly eat my dinner.
Well, and most of them were flats, and everybody knows that the flats are lighter than the drums.
100%.
So I was like, what the hell, dude?
Jesus.
I say the same thing. I say anywhere from 10 to 12 wings is what it should be.
Yeah.
9 at the least.
Right. And again, it depends on the size of the wings. If they're just average sized wings, give me 11, 12, 13 wings. I call it a pound. We don't need to get into the system. But if you're going to bring me even 9 or 10, they better be on the bigger size. And if you're going to give me 7, they better be caveman size.
Someone just texted in and said, I swear they're weighing the plates now, too. Honestly, man. Honestly.
They'll weigh the plates. They throw the fries in there, too. That's part of the weight. They put your drink on the side. They're balancing it all out.
I mean, this isn't a news drop on anyone. I mean, going out for dinner now is so expensive. I have a theory, though, too.
Okay.
Anyone who's getting appetizers right now, they're rich.
That's the key?
You want to know which one of your friends has money right now? Go for drinks with them. See who's getting appies right now.
Oh, deep fried pickles, eh? So you got some stock money coming in or what?
We decided to get mozzarella sticks last night. We balled out a little bit. 4 mozzarella sticks.
Yeah, well.
4 Dude, that's not even 2 cheese strings. It's not. You think of the size of I'm not even kidding, man. The size of mozzarella sticks, that's not even 2 cheese strings.
You're 100% right, but I feel like it's always been 4 to 5 mozza sticks on an order, depending on where you go.
It should be 8 for what you're paying. It's just cheese wrapped in bread.
You know what the thing is? I'll say mozza sticks almost never as good as you think they're going to be.
Yeah.
Every time you order mozza sticks, you have a thing in your brain, and then you get the, as you stated, less than 2 cheese strings that have been deep fried about 10 minutes ago, and you bite into it and you go, Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow next time you're going to do it again.
Even spinach dip, like, that always pisses me off, too, where it's like you get more chip than you dip. Mm-hmm. You need to put some dip on your chip.
That's right. They give you just that little tiny bowl. They call it a dip, and then they just shake out a bag of tortilla chips they got from the grocery store onto your plate, and they're like, here you go.
Yeah. And then you always feel like a savage by the end, just like scraping the sides of the thing.
You got crumbs in there. You're just like, come on, give me every drop of this stuff.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Someone texted in 762-555 and said, Adam Sandler movies was the peak of comedy movies in Hollywood.
Well, I mean, I've heard people say this argument before. I mean, even like the 90s, there was all those SNL guys.
Right, the Wayne's Worlds and all the Adam Sandler
Farley
movies.
and Spade.
Yeah, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, all those movies. It was a great time. I still love some of the classics, though. Like, you go back to, like, the 70s, like the Blazing Saddles era of comedies.
That doesn't do anything for me.
No. It was just, I feel like it was because they were kind of, it was a little bit more of a think on some of the jokes that they had. I feel like now, modern comedies feel like they all kind of lean on crutches.
Yeah?
I don't feel like, I can't remember the last modern comedy I watched where I was like, man, that's a really well thought out joke.
I will say, in my opinion, and I think it's just my age, but I think the best comedies was like the early 2000s.
Is that when Step Brothers came out?
Step Brothers was like mid around there, but I mean, like, you think about, like, you got Road Trip, you've got Dude, Where's My Car? You ever see The Ladies Man before?
Oh, absolutely.
All the Scary movies as well. You know, they got all that was silly, like Scary Movie, Epic Movie, Date Movie, all that kind of stuff.
That was also kind of the American Pie era too, wasn't it? Like, that was around when those movies started to come. The main ones, not the 86 spin-offs. But
Big Mama's House, you can get in there. Little Nicky, they still had some Sandler going in there before he got serious.
Late stage Sandler before he decided, like, I wanted to be taken a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. Comedy movies were like a big thing in the early 2000s, and then they all had kick-ass soundtracks too.
That was the biggest thing. Maybe that was what made those comedy movies so good, because I do feel like a lot of them were meant to turn your brain off. Like, they were kind of the dumber comedies, but it still worked. And then it had these, like, iconic soundtracks that almost, like, developed your personality of who you were.
Or they just showed a lot of boob. Like,
that is true.
That was it.
There is a ton of nudity in those early 2000s
Someone just texted
comedies.
in Euro Trip, Wedding Crashers. Yeah, all those movies, dude. Yeah. They all the comedy would come out, and then they would have an unrated version of it.
That's, would like the theater sales would go really well, but the DVD sales, back when that was still a thing, because everybody would rush out to buy the unrated version.
And everyone who had the unrated version, like, knew the parts to pause.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. Everybody knows the parts to pause. And I think that goes for all genres of movies. I think every kid had a movie in their house that they knew the primo spot to pause. Titanic, I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Oh,
as well.
Yeah. In the steamy car, for sure, or on the couch. Yeah. There were websites, early internet, some of the most popular websites were just dedicated to what movie are you watching? Here's when you should pause it.
Yeah.
That was a whole database.
Oh, dude, that was the whole plot line in Knocked Up, was the guys, like, were trying to start a website, and then they realized someone already beat them to the punch.
That's another era of comedy movies. Speaking of Knocked Up, and it's sort of Seth Rogen was at the forefront of it. I feel like around, like, 2010, maybe, that was when, like, the stoner adventure movies started to come up.
Yeah,
it was just like, the whole plot was, here's a few people, they're going to get really high, and then whatever they do next will be funny.
Yeah.
And that was the whole genre of movie.
But it's not like Cheech and Chong. It's like guys that you actually know.
Yeah. Although Cheech and Chong was pretty
Superbad is like my high school experience.
Oh, 100%. I mean, just look at, you can still, in gift shops all over the place, buy McLovin driver's license. There's a throwaway joke in the middle of the movie by a not even main character, and it still holds up today. You say McLovin and everybody goes, yeah, McLovin.
Yeah.
Bring back the mid-2000s. I never thought I would say that, but those are the movies that we need to make this world a little less dark.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
will you be celebrating this Sunday for National Nude Day?
Ooh.
It's a spicy national holiday. Just one of those classic, like, today's a day about this for some reason or another. But
I mean, I sleep naked, so I'll start the day off in that way.
I think there's a lot of people
That
that...
was too much information for everyone to wake up to this morning.
There's a lot of people that will enter Sunday maybe nude because of sleeping and whatnot, but man, I just could not picture going about the entirety of my day without clothes on.
You've never just gone a full day just walking around the house in your buck?
No, you know what? Not even at home. Not even, like, if I'm at home, blinds closed, no one around, house to myself, I still will at some point at least put on a pair of shorts.
The kids are gone, man.
I know.
Let it fly.
I'll say this, when the kids are gone, maybe this is weird, but I'm much more likely to go shirts off. But even by myself, I got mirrors, stuff like that. I can't go around to the full
It's your
buck.
primal, role. Like you gotta experience that every now and
See,
then.
that's the thing, man. I don't understand how our primal ancestors went through that sort of thing. Don't you feel vulnerable when you get fully naked?
No, I feel free.
I feel like I'm in danger.
I feel free. I feel the hair in the wind within the hair of other body parts.
I'm telling you, you don't stub your toe enough, man. Like I'm worried. I don't think I got the coordination. I feel like I need some kind of protective layer to make sure everything is where it is and is safe from damage from the outside world.
Sure.
I'm just constantly worried about tripping, falling. How do you cook? How do you cook in the nude?
The grease kind of paying for pleasure if you're cooking bacon. I will say they do that nude bike ride in Toronto, and like all these places seem to do that kind of stuff like once a year. That is one thing I could not imagine doing naked.
It's just the risk reward is too high.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're out for a bike ride and we're one with nature and all that. Great. One loose pebble in the road and you are getting rashed.
Oh, you ever do that thing where your bike kind of jams up on you and you hit like above your groin on the front of the handlebars there?
Yeah.
Oof.
Get the speed wobbles on a naked bike ride and your whole life will flash before your eyes.
Yeah.
On a bicycle might actually be the worst place to be naked. Or actually, on a skateboard. Imagine a naked skateboard ride.
I mean, I was going to say maybe a game of Twister, maybe collecting honey from bees.
The naked game of Twister, depending on who you're playing it with, has potential.
Welding.
Naked welding is a terrible
Welding
plan.
would probably be bad. Hanging out in a school zone for that matter.
Well, you only get to do that once, and then you never are allowed to go back, clothed or not. So
Yeah.
that one sort of takes care of itself. I would say the worst place might actually be the gym.
Oh, yeah?
Just, there's too much moving and jumping and squatting and running. You need a layer of clothes to just sort of keep things to the imagination.
Yeah, I mean, I better hope that you're going to wipe down the machine after. That's for damn sure, dude.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Not everywhere is meant to be naked. There's some places that are tougher than others.
Correction, I'd say like 90% of places are not meant to be naked, just to clarify that.
We asked the question, what would be the worst place to be naked? Somebody talking about something we talked about yesterday said the African lion safari would not be a great place to go without clothes on.
Dude, even just being naked in your car, man, if you got leather seats, oof.
Honestly, like that feeling you get when you wear like shorts that ride up a little bit and your thigh hits the seat.
Yeah.
Now it's your whole body.
Or, I mean, we were talking about the black flies the other day. I mean, just go for a walk in the forest.
Any kind of nature hike,
That
nature
Naked
trail.
and Afraid show is wild to me, how that's
Honestly,
the thing, yeah.
Just in general, I would say just camping. Because, again, you are exposed to the bugs, plus exposed to, like, all the other, like, plant life and stuff like that out there. Even just a group of people trying to squat around a campfire naked, that's not a sight anybody's happy to have.
Yeah, it's weird to think at one point, like, that was life on this planet.
That was
you know?
just how we chilled out. Mm-hmm. Someone else said, it was a very Canadian answer, sitting in the stands in an arena, especially if it's like a local arena that's got like those slab bench seats.
Brother, imagine trying to play hockey naked. That'd be a sight to see.
Any sport, honestly. Like, I don't know a sport that would be okay naked.
Swimming.
Swimming would be okay. That's
Diving.
true.
Yeah.
But like, even I'm trying to think of like golf because you're kind of like by yourself. But I imagine the kind of torque that some of those guys get on their swings would probably cause some recoil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what you're working with, I guess.
Honestly, is there a good place to be naked other than the bedroom?
The swimming, like I just tried to say it. Yeah, going swimming naked is one of the most freeing things that you can do. If you've ever gone skinny dipping, you know what I'm talking about. There's a difference when you just have your trunks off. Like, you feel so good doing it. Meditating would be another one that I would say.
Oh.
I think that's one where you could really get in touch with yourself as well.
Naked yoga was a big thing like a couple years ago. I don't know. I don't hear much about it anymore.
Naked cleaning is always fun. I always clean my I don't know if anyone else does this. I have a shower, and then I immediately clean my bathroom after whenever I'm going to clean my bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah, so everything kind of gets cleaned all at once there. That's a very freeing feeling as well.
Fair enough. I would be worried about, like, you see those on the front of the bottle, it's got like the skeleton hand when it comes in contact with the cleaning material.
Yeah.
Take the hand away and put some other body parts in there, and I think I'll keep my clothes on.
I'll say this, and I don't mean to be too crass here, but maybe someone will agree with me. Taking a number 2. When you get one of those ones, you take all of your clothes off,
strip right down.
There's something about it where it's just the ultimate relief.
That's the instincts, the old memories in your brain, the evolution kicking in and going, we used to live like this.
The Taco Bell's hitting on the drive home, and you just you start stripping down like you're gonna go make love to the missus. But no, you're going to the porcelain,
right to the throne, baby.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You know, man, sometimes life isn't fair. Some people got it really good, especially sexy people. Hot people, good-looking people out there.
Oh, stop.
You see that photo of Matthew McConaughey?
Oh, the bee sting?
Dude, if you haven't seen it, text B to 762-555 and check the podcast links. Matthew McConaughey got stung in the eye by a bee?
Yeah.
Dude still looks hot, man.
Yeah, he's got like his eye is like swollen shut, which that spot is a little gnarly. And then every other part of you is just like, this dude looking good.
He's smiling and everything. Yeah. Courtney showed me the photo yesterday. She's like, look at him. And I was like, dude, this guy could literally get punched in the face and still look good. It's not fair, man.
Lose a fist fight and come out on the other end going, should have seen the other guy.
I wonder what he was like when he was getting stung by a bee. Do you think he was like, all right? Like he was just so cool about it?
Just super chill about it. Hey, bee friend, let's talk about what just happened here.
Me, I feel like if I get stung by a bee, I'm more of like a...
I'm just picturing you running in a circle, a very tight circle, screaming.
That would be it. Do you think when the guy from Slayer gets stung by a bee, that's what he sounds like?
He goes into a Full Metal scream?
Yeah. I always wonder, every time I hear the Glorious Sons, Everything Is All Right.
Yeah.
I always like to think this is what Brett Emmons would sound like if he was stung by a bee. You know, like
Brett, are you okay? A bee got me.
Brett's just walking around his apartment or whatever and happens to just stub his toe on the coffee table.
Well, I mean, some of these guys, like some of the big screamers and wailers in music, basically sound like they made their living getting hurt.
Well, yeah, if you think about like a lot of like the metal guys, the hardcore guys, deathcore, whatever, the kind of guys, like I wonder what they sound like when they're mad.
Oh, dude, when they just constantly falling back on like what it is that makes them their money to get their emotions out.
Like, do you think David Draymond ever just gets mad and he's just like,
Imagine trying to have an argument with him. He's getting all wild up. He's getting all frustrated, and he drops an ooh-wah on you.
That's when you know you got to go to your room if you're his kids.
I would have no idea how to proceed in that argument. Like, if we were having a debate and he growled that at me, I would just be like, you know, man, I think I can see it from your side, though. I think you're making some good points.
You start pissing off James Brown.
I mean, even going back to people who sound like they get hurt when they're singing. Let me pull up a website here. Turn on my computer. David Lee Roth made a living at doing this.
Oh!
Just making weird sounds.
Just constant.
That's a good stub in the toe one.
Yeah. Well, this is probably the best one for if David Lee Roth got stung by a bee.
Oh, God, I'm running.
Man's trying to find an EpiPen.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Do you want to hear one of the most cringiest sounds of all time?
I would love to.
Prepare your ears. That is the men's staff bathroom here. Our coworker Nick posted this video on Facebook saying this is the most annoying sound of all time yesterday.
The open's not so bad. The close is meaty.
I usually like try and avoid this bathroom.
Yeah.
But then someone said to me yesterday, and they were like, squeaky doors aren't a bad thing.
Depending on where you are and how often they get open.
Well, I didn't think about it till they said that if you're in the bathroom, you probably want a squeaky door over a quiet one.
Right. You don't want someone sneaking into the bathroom, even if that's not their intention.
Yeah.
You want to know if you're in there doing your business. You want to know if you're suddenly not alone.
It could be terrifying to be sitting on the can and hear this. But then also, maybe say you're just scrolling the TikTok, the Instagram or whatever. You're like, boss is here or something.
Yeah. If courtesy flush and wipe and get out. And
Yeah. Maybe you even forgot to leave a courtesy flush.
Oh.
Right?
You're like, you're about to open the stall door. You hear, oh, hang on, yep.
Yeah. Because I know this is like the sound that they would use on those spooky like Halloween tapes, like when we were kids.
If you go through a haunted house anywhere in the world,
I'll stop playing.
The close is so much. If you go through a haunted house anywhere in the world this October, you will hear basically this
that
noise.
Exact sound.
We could actually, Nick isn't in yet, if he's listening, sell this, copyright this, and sell it to an audio farm. They will make you millions selling this to people.
I think that if you live in an old house and it's creaky and squeaky and it's annoying you, just know if you ever have intruders, you don't need a security system.
I imagine that's your front door.
Is it creepy or is it security? Think about it like that.
You know what? I'm just thinking of how often I open the doors of my home. I think that it's a low enough number that I think it would be more secure than creepy because I wouldn't be hearing it all the time.
Yeah.
And then I would be finely tuned when I did hear it in my sleep. I am up, baseball bat in hand and ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Before you spray a little WD-40 on that thing, think about it. Maybe just leave it. Could help you from ending up on the 6 o'clock news tomorrow.
Oh, also parents. If your bedroom door makes that noise, you'll never be surprised by the kids ever again.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.